During this video, we're going to look at the Nikon D3100. To insert the battery, open the battery door at the bottom by pressing in the locking clip. Push the battery into position and close the door. To insert the SD card, open the door on the side of the camera and insert gently, as it will only go in one way, with the gold contacts facing the lens. On this camera we have a Nikon AFS lens, which has a lockable button. Hold this down and turn the lens in a clockwise motion to move it from its storage position and to allow the camera to focus properly. When you're ready to put it back into its storage position, hold down the button and rotate the lens in an anti-clockwise motion. The power button is on the top at the front. Flick the switch on. When you look through the viewfinder, if the AF points don't look sharp, adjust the diopter adjustment control dial to the right of the viewfinder until you see them clearly. As you can see here. For a lot of situations, the automatic point and shoot mode, symbolised by a green camera icon and the green text auto, will be fine. Select this and then look through the viewfinder. Place your finger on the shutter button. The shutter button has two steps. If you hold it down halfway, the focus points in the viewfinder will light up. These indicate what the camera is focusing on. If you're not happy, you can put the camera into manual focus mode using the switch on the side of the lens. Turning the focus ring grip will then allow us to focus on what we would like to. Pressing the shutter button all the way will release the shutter and take the picture. On the side of the lens there is also a VR button. This stands for vibration reduction. Use this if you're struggling to get a steady shot. Automatic point and shoot mode will automatically select most of the camera settings according to a built-in exposure program, producing optimal exposure in most situations. We also have other automatic modes designed for specific situations and specific photography types. These are designed to get you the best results in such scenarios. These are flash off, automatic point and shoot mode, portrait mode, which produces natural skin tones and softened background focus, landscape mode for vivid colours that enhance the look of the environment, child mode for those difficult to capture action shots, sports mode for fast shutter speeds in order to freeze the subject's motion, close-up mode for macro shots of small items where shallow depth of field is required, and night portrait mode for use in low light situations. On the Nikon D3100 we also have a guide mode. This gives you access to a variety of frequently used, useful functions. There are three main menus. These are Shoot, View Delete and Setup. This is a valuable resource that can really help you master the use of your camera. In order to take things a step further, we also have manual modes. P is Programmed Auto Mode. The camera will automatically adjust shutter speed and aperture for optimal exposure. These settings can be changed by rotating the command dial, for instance if you want a lower aperture for a more shallow depth of field. We can change the exposure in this mode by holding down the exposure compensation button on the top of the camera. This has a plus and minus icon on it, and then turning the command dial. S is Shutter Priority Auto Mode, which allows users to adjust the shutter speed while the camera selects the best aperture, useful for when you want to blur or freeze the action. To adjust the shutter speed, rotate the main command dial on the rear of the camera. The aperture changes automatically in order to provide good exposure. This will keep the current shutter speed but adjust the aperture independently. If you see a high or low text on screen, this suggests that the exposure is too light or too dark. Again, we can change the exposure in this mode by holding down the exposure compensation button and turning the command dial. For more information on shutter speed, watch the video link card on screen now. A stands for Aperture Priority, and this mode enables the user to set the aperture manually for creative use of depth of field, while the camera selects the shutter speed. To adjust this, use the command dial. Select a higher number to keep more of your shot in focus, for use in landscape photography for instance, or a lower number to soften the background for portraiture or macro shots. Again, we can change the exposure in this mode by holding down the exposure compensation button. This will keep the current aperture but adjust the shutter speed independently. If you see a high or low text on screen, this suggests that the exposure is too light or too dark. For more information on aperture, watch my Aperture Explained video by clicking on the link card on screen. M mode allows the user to set the shutter speed and aperture manually. Again, use a dial on the rear of the camera to adjust shutter speed. To change the aperture, hold down the exposure button and turn the dial at the same time. In manual mode, we can select the shutter speed as bulb. This is a useful feature that enables us to hold the shutter open while our finger is on the shutter button, enabling us to fine-tune an exposure or extend the length past the 30-second mark. This is especially useful for delayed exposure photography, although it is recommended to use a tripod in these situations. Don't forget, if you see the low or high indicators on the display when adjusting shutter speed, you can get around this to some extent using external accessories. For instance, in order to darken the image, you could use an ND filter on the lens, or if the subject is too dark, you could use a flash or additional lighting. In the manual modes, we can also change the film speed. To do this, press the information button, which has an eye icon on it. Then using the D-pad, navigate to ISO. Press OK and select the required setting. 100 will produce the least noise, but require better lighting for optimal exposure, whereas 3200 will produce more noise, but enable shooting in lower lighting conditions. High 1 is the equivalent to ISO 6400, and High 2, 12800. These are designed for low light scenarios, but feature in-camera processing which can produce unwanted noise and image effects, although these can be used to produce a certain stylized look. For more information on film speed, why not watch my film speed video? There's a card link on screen now. We can also adjust the white balance in these modes in order to achieve the right or wrong light source, depending on the results we are hoping for. To do this, press the information button, then using the D-pad, navigate to WB. Press OK and select the required setting. The options are Auto, Incandescent, Fluorescent, Direct Sunlight, Flash, Cloudy, Shade, and Preset. The preset setting is when we use a previous image or a white object to show the camera what can be considered the white point. To do this, we need to press the menu button, move down to the camera icon, move to the right and select white balance. Press right again on the D-pad or OK in the centre and move down to preset manual. Move right again and then fill your viewfinder with the white image and press OK next to measure. This will overwrite the previous data and set the rest of the colours appropriately. You may also notice that each white balance setting has an arrow to the right. Most of these will take you through to a graphic of a colour grid. This is to fine-tune your selection if you notice it's slightly off. The only setting that is slightly different is fluorescent, which has a selection of different light wavelengths found in popular lighting. Once you've made a selection, you can then access the grid page and fine-tune the settings, increasing green, blue, amber or magenta in your image. For more information on white balance, why not watch my white balance video? There's a card link on screen now. Focus mode is the way the lens focuses on a subject. Single servo AF, displayed as AFS, is for stationary subjects. Focus locks when the shutter button is pressed halfway, and the shutter will only be released to take a picture if the camera is able to achieve focus. Continuous servo AF, displayed as AFC, is for moving subjects. The camera will continuously focus while the shutter button is held down halfway. Again, in this mode, the shutter will only be released if focus is achieved. In the viewfinder, a circle icon will illuminate to let you know the camera has achieved focus and is ready to take a picture. In Auto Servo AF, displayed as AFA, the camera will choose either of the previous modes depending on the subject. The shutter button will only be released if the camera is able to focus in this mode. We also have manual focus mode, in which the users adjust the focus ring to select the desired results. In this case, the shutter will be released whether the subject is in focus or not. While the lens is set to automatic focus, we also have the ability to change the autofocus area mode. To do this, press the I button and navigate down to AF area mode. Single point AF enables us to select a specific focus point using the camera D-pad. This selection will be displayed on the LCD screen while also showing up as a red light on the AF points in the viewfinder. This dictates the area of the image the camera will utilise for focus and is mainly used for stationary subjects. The D3100 has 11 focus points that can be selected. Dynamic Area AF, available in AFA and AFC focus modes, will use a selected focus point but also use surrounding focus points should the subject move from the selected point. Auto Area AF mode is where the camera will automatically detect the subject and then select the appropriate focus point. 3D tracking is again available in AFA and AFC focus modes. Again, the user selects a focus point using the multi-selector pad. However, if the subject moves after the camera is focused, it uses 3D tracking to select a new focus point and keep focus locked on the subject, while the shutter button is pressed halfway. In order to take more than one picture at once, we can change the release mode. Move the shooting mode dial to select the desired setting. We can select single frame mode, which takes one picture at a time when the shutter release button is pressed. We can select continuous shooting. This will take pictures continually while the shutter button is pressed. The camera uses a buffer to store these images while they are being written to the SD card. The number of images left in the buffer depends on the image, quality and format, but it can be seen in the bottom right hand corner of the viewfinder, next to the letter R. Self-timer mode will take a picture after 2 seconds or after 10 seconds. The light on the front of the camera and the beeping sound will help count down the duration, increasing as the time comes to an end. To change the duration, press Menu and go to the spanner icon and select Self-timer delay. Press OK, then select the required duration by pressing OK again. It is advised that you use a DK5 eyepiece cup on the viewfinder. When using self-timer delay, this will prevent light entering the viewfinder and interfering with the exposure. Auto image rotation is a mode where the orientation is recorded during the first shot and is then applied to all images in the same burst, even if the camera is rotated. Metering mode is the method of measuring brightness and setting exposure. We can adjust this by pressing the I button and using the selection D-pad. Center-weighted metering is when it meters the entire frame but assigns the greatest weight to the center area. It's very often used for portraits. Spot metering is for a specific part of the subject or scene and meters the current focus point. This can be useful when taking photos of off-center subjects, ensuring the subject is correctly exposed even when the background is much darker or much brighter. If Auto Area Autofocus mode is selected, the camera will use the center focus points. Matrix metering gives optimal exposure determined from a wide area of the frame, setting it in accordance with tone, distribution, colour, composition and lens. In center-weighted and spot metering mode, we can apply the auto exposure lock to lock the camera to a specific exposure setting. While we have the release button pressed down halfway, we then need to press the AEL and AFL button to lock focus and exposure. An AEL indicator will appear in the viewfinder. On the D3100, we can also adjust the exposure. Press the I button and navigate to the icon with a plus and minus. Press OK. From here we can select up to +5 and down to -5. We can do the same with the flash. Move to the flash compensation icon, which has a flash icon and a plus and minus on it, and press OK. We can increase the brightness to +1 and reduce the brightness to -3. Other useful functions on the D3100 would include the ability to alter the brightness of the display, which is especially useful on sunny days. Press Menu and then move down to the spanner icon. Use a D-pad to move to the right of LCD brightness, then right again to select your desired setting. We can also use the LCD screen as a viewfinder. This is especially useful when shooting at high or low angles. To utilise this, rotate the live view switch on the rear of the camera. This will disable the viewfinder and enable the rear screen. However, I wouldn't recommend using this unless it's not possible to use a viewfinder, as your eyes are a much better way of assessing a shot than a limited LCD panel. The record button in the middle of the live view switch is for recording video. Watch my filming with the Nikon D3100 video for more information, which is linked at the end of this video. The function button on the front is quite useful when you're in the middle of shooting some shots. This can be set to a couple of different functions, but I've found the film speed option the most useful. It's useful to be able to hit the function button and then use the command dial to select a different speed. We can choose different functions by hitting menu and selecting the spanner icon and then selecting buttons. Here we can select a different function, or as you can see here, you can go to recent settings if you've accessed it previously. Above the function button we have the flash button, which will enable the flash in manual modes. If we hold it down and use a command dial, we're also able to select different flash modes. Like many DSLR cameras, we can select picture controls in manual modes. To do this, press menu and navigate to the camera icon and select Set Picture Control. Here we can select one of the preset picture effects designed to improve your images in specific situations. Another useful picture effect function is active delighting. This is designed to improve the camera's ability to preserve details in highlights and shadows, giving a more natural contrast. It's especially useful when shooting landscape photographs. This function is again under the camera menu, listed Active Delighting. In order to play back images, we can press the Playback button. By pressing left or right on the D-pad, we can cycle through the images, while its details are displayed, including a histogram showing its exposure, which is useful when taking a quick glance at an image you've shot. Moving up or down will allow us to view a larger version of the picture. We can zoom in and out of these by pressing the plus and minus magnifying glass buttons, while using the selection pad to navigate through the image in more detail. By zooming out, we can see 4 or 9 images on screen, which enables us to navigate through the images more quickly. Just press OK to see the selected image on full screen. In order to get your pictures onto computer, remove the SD card. Insert the card into a card reader and then plug it into your computer. To download your pictures, go to this PC, select your memory card, Nikon D3100, then DCIM and 100D3100, and copy and paste the pictures you require to your desired location. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please subscribe and feel free to like, share, comment and watch my other videos.